Hello everybody and welcome back. Yes, we're still doing our insane 2000 Xrp giveaway, and yes guys, there's still a limited time to enter. If you want to, all you have to do is make sure you press the like button on this video, make sure you comment something down below under this video like what your favorite crypto is or when the first time you bought crypto was. And then third of all, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. And if you've done that, you're automatically entered and we'll announce a winner today if we hit the like requirement. I'm also doing a couple of other giveaways, like we'll be giving away 500 XRP if we hit 1,000 likes within 24 hours, and we'll just double that along the way. So make sure you enter. It's really simple. It's just 3 steps. Having said that, let's get into the content of today. First of all, America's $20 trillion growing debt is getting cheaper as it grows. Yes, very interesting title, but very true, and something I really would like to address a little bit further. The US government is paying less as it borrows more. One reason investors appear more comfortable than Congress about funding another leg of stimulus. Interest payments in the federal budget declined about 10% in the first 11 months of this fiscal year. When America was running up its biggest deficit since WW2, over the next few years, servicing the national debt will be cheaper than any time in the past half-century when measured against the size of the economy, according to the Congressional Budget Office. That's because yields in the $20 trillion U.S. Treasury market plunged to record lows early in the pandemic, and they've risen only slightly since then, even though the supply of debt has surged to a record. Borrowing probably won't always be this cheap, but for now the US government is far from running up against any financial limits as it seeks to shore up the economy after a wave of shutdowns and layoffs. Concerns that the country can't afford much more spending have been voiced by officials from both political parties in the recent weeks as stimulus efforts ground to a halt. Quote, "While there's been a lot of concern about the mounting debt, it hasn't caused the problems that we anticipated in the doomsters, or by the doomsters," says Ed Yardeni, founder of Yardeni Research Inc. "It's not just a question of how much debt is outstanding, but also what is the cost to service that debt." The CBO predicts a deficit of about $3.7 trillion this year, or 16% of GDP, more than triple the year earlier figures. Bonds issued to fund the shortfall have pushed the U.S. public debt to past $20 trillion, more than the economy's annual output. Wow. All right. And yet the average yield on the debt has been dropped to 1.7% from 2.4% in December, and it's set to fall even further. Wow. Very much wow. I'm just really amazed at what we've just read. I think you guys are as well. It's a little bit shocking, but yes, it's the truth. It's what's going on right now. It's our economy. It's our money, sort of. It's our, for a lot of you guys, it's our government. The U.S. debt's affordability is quite okay, not stretched by any means, and even after a few auctions that saw signs of faltering demand, the government can borrow for 30 years at below 1.5%. And the Treasury has tilted sales towards such longer-term securities, helping lock in historical low rates. In my opinion, guys, this is insane, but that's the way it's going right now. It's just completely mind-boggling what's going on in the economy. And the basic point of all of this, and I really recommend you guys to read this article all the way through if you have some 5 minutes to spare. Because the reason this is so important is because this is going to mess with all our crypto holdings a little bit. The amount of debt, as I've explained before, really plays a key factor in how countries operate. That's one part. Second part, I would say, is that this debt is a very great part of some bigger XRP theories. And so if you believe XRP is going to go to $10,000 per coin or anything along those lines, some crazier gold-backed stories and things like that, then I think you must also understand that the debt that the US has will be erased in some way, shape, or form eventually. Now, some are not convinced because countries will always have debt, and some are convinced because they want to finally get rid of that, and yada yada yada. But what way, shape, or what type of thing could they ever do to lower their debt a little bit? I'm not saying getting it to zero, but a little bit. And that's where a lot of these XRP theories come in, say, XRP will be yada yada yada, gold-backed standard, yada yada yada. Again, all those thoughts, not on my channel. I'm not going to talk about that too much unless we cover somebody saying it or claiming it and maybe elaborating. But I've done that tons of times. The bigger picture here is, I think that this debt is just starting to be, I guess, understood by more and more people. And the bad part is the normal folk, the non-enlightened people in a financial way, they don't know. They don't know what their country is doing. They don't know what this stimulus is providing for your normal way of living. They don't understand inflation that well. And they don't understand that free money is never really free money. Right? Unless, of course, we're talking about my giveaways, because that is free money, because I love you guys. But, free money from the government, keyword there, government, it ain't free money ever. All right? They have free money. Yes, they have free money. You? No. You're going to pay it back in some way, shape, or form. Eventually, it's going to definitely catch up to you. And that's why I always keep saying that stimulus is not necessarily good. Even though you might be purchasing crypto with that might be one of your better options. It might still be a bad choice, because it might be that you'll still hurt in the end, because the rest of your holdings is going to be kind of worthless. It might be one of your biggest options and your biggest bets, because we established on the channel here, and again, this is not financial advice in any way, shape, or form, just my opinion. But we established on the channel here that there's a good chance that the US dollar is going to be devalued heavily, right? Good chance of any or something along those lines happening. And basically the best option then is to not be in any fiat, or at least not in the US dollar, but to be into some crypto-like substance which still works tightly with US dollars and with the government and things like that, which, if you again tick all the boxes off, it's most likely going to be XRP. A well-regulated crypto is still working on a couple of really important and I guess key front lines, even though they're a backline project. Yeah, XRP really hits those spots. And as I've said before, if interest rates below zero or something like that kill banks, XRP would still prosper, because people would understand now more than ever how important being your own bank is. That's one part, but mostly how frictionful or how annoying sending transactions can be. And if banks stay because of just, I guess, a good economy or something like that, XP will prosper as well, because banks will need growing innovation, and thus they'll most likely go for some solution with XRP because it's just cheaper and efficient. All right, Crypto Kanji just posted on Twitter, I'm not selling a single XRP until we hit $10. I'm just wondering from you guys, what's your opinion on this one, and do you agree with this? Would you not sell any XRP until it hit $10? I'm personally not really a fan of this strategy. I always tell you guys, sell in layers, and just sell it piece by piece, because otherwise you're never really rich in your hands. You're like rich on paper. But some others are saying I'm never selling XRP and things like that. I just think that's not realistic. So I would never think about scenarios like that. Why would you never sell any crypto? That's a little bit strange. But I most likely would not sell all my crypto ever. But I would definitely sell chunks to, live the better life, if you guys get me. Why stock market investors are bracing for the most litigated election in U.S. history. Well, what I can say to you guys is we did so many analyses on the channel here, like so many, like 10 or something like that, where we kind of went over the similarities of the U.S. stock market and the elections, and not maybe the similarities, like the consequences and kind of the happenings surrounding that time. And what we concluded mostly is that during elections is when the the stock prices can fluctuate the heaviest, or it can really fall from some sort of situation going on. Because listen to me here. Every time there's an election, there's always some sort of, maybe a pandemic could be, or maybe some global uncertainty or some strange situation going on. And I'm not going to call any conspiracy here because I don't know if it's just coincidence or anything along those lines. What I do know, though, is that surrounding these elections, there's always a huge amount of uncertainty. And with that also comes the question from people what they should do with their money, yada, yada, yada. And also for the bigger companies, if all their policies are going to be staying the same and what's going to be happening for the newer time, how are people going to be reacting to this, how is their money going to be affected, and things like that. And with that, if we relate that one a little bit further, people are also wondering this time around now, what's the connection to safe havens? What's the connection to hedged things like gold? And what's the connection to crypto? And I think a lot of us are wondering as well. During this election, some crazy stuff can happen to the stock market as people become too uncertain and they go out of the US dollar because they don't trust the government and things like that. We also saw the number of how much people trust the government deteriorate over the year. And here you can see recounting the recount, how the S&P 500 handled the Bush-Gore drama 2000. You can read into it right here if you want to. What I just know is that during these elections, some crazy things happen to the stock market. And the only big question we must be answering ourselves is, what type of correlation is the stock market going to be having with XRP? Is it going to be a positive one? Is it going to be a negative one? We don't know, but we have to establish that one. Pence drops out of Trump campaign, fundraise backed by QAnon supporters. Don't want to get too far into it. I just saw it here. Want to show you guys that it's there. Read into it if you want to. Intelligent XRP just said, how many of my followers are confident that they'll become millionaires from the XRP investment alone? Just wondering. Let me know what you think about that one. Then Cryptosis said, Bank of America is up to something XRP. Because Bank of America just posted on their website or their app, we're improving our systems to better serve you. Though most features are still available, you may need to check back after 6 a.m. ET to view your latest checking or savings account balances, recent activity, or if you need to make a transfer. And I think that's just they have some maintenance, and some are saying it has something to do with XRP. I don't think so, but it's a cool idea to have in the back of your head, maybe. And then another Q drop. Yep. More of that stuff. Yep. And here was Joa Cats. So Peru Crypto said, or Peruminati. Okay, that's an interesting name. He said Joa Cats act like a high-profile Bubba Cugs nowadays. It's because Joa Cats, so David Schwartz, the CTO over at Ripple, he's been posting more and more crazy pictures and videos the last couple of days, which make people wonder what he's up to. And he just kind of compared it to Bubba Cugs, which I find pretty funny. But guys, that was it for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you press the like button and subscribe. And I will definitely see you guys again in another crypto video. Enjoy your day. Really enjoy your day, everybody.